Cosatu Gauteng is this hour picketing outside the offices of Mineral Resources and Energy. This is over a number of issues, including Eskom's loadshedding. Malungelo Booi joins us now live from Pretoria. Mali, good morning. Loadshedding impacting everybody, but Cosatu are protesting rather against several other issues just outside of loadshedding.
That's right, Hugo. I mean, the Trade Union Federation is not only here to protest over problems at Eskom. It also says that it is disturbed by what it calls deteriorating state of the country's economy, as well as soaring food prices, multiple fuel price increases that we've seen as the country on a bringing. Cosatu Provincial Chairperson here in Gauteng, Amos Punyala, said thank you so much for your time. Why come to the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy?
Well, we wanted to deliver this memorandum to the Minister of Minerals and Energy together with other ministers, the Minister of Public Enterprises, Minister of Finance and the Minister of Employment and Labour. So the reason we're here, we just want, this is a protest to provide solutions because our economy has deteriorated. The leadership of government has no options. They don't have any other option to save the economy. Petrol prices are increasing. Food prices increasing. Eskom is just a crisis. And the first thing that must happen is to fix Eskom. If we want to save the economy of this country, fix Eskom.
I mean, the president will say this, that we are working towards fixing Eskom. In fact, the Mail and Guardian is reporting today, it's quoting the president of the Energy Department saying that the CEO of Eskom is not the right person, is not the person right to fix, the power state. What do you make of that assertion?
Well, he might be part of the problem, but it is not only the problem. The problem is the political leadership of the country and the political leadership of the Departments of Minerals and Energy, as well as the political leadership of the Department of Public Enterprises. Remember, if you want to rescue Eskom, the first thing is that you must help them to pay the debts.
Yeah.
So if there is no solution that relates to paying off the debts of Eskom, in order for it to focus on maintenance, because the biggest problem is maintenance of these power stations. All the time when there's load shedding, you are told that the maintenance is not up to date. You are told that this power station has collapsed. You need to have money to fix Eskom. You don't need to have, you also need to have experienced engineers. We do have black engineers. We are surprised why the minister has gone to Solidarity. We do have black engineers young ones who can even get into Eskom and rescue it. But the first thing is that you must rescue it in terms of paying its debts. And if they can pay half of their debts and focus the resources into dealing with maintenance and fixing what we have now. Because I heard the president talking that, we are working. The president, ever since he has been the president, has been talking about fixing Eskom. It's almost 4 years that he's been in power. Eskom, it is now worse. So the economy has plunged because of Eskom. So we don't know what solution is he coming up with.
Cosatu is part of the tripartite alliance. What are you guys saying when you are in those tripartite meetings?
Well, I'm proud about the Federation of Workers, Cosatu, even if it's part of the Tripartite Alliance, that it is able to raise issues. It is Cosatu that went to NETLEC with a proposal on the social Eskom social compact. Yeah. And that compact was signed in December 2020. That compact had the steps at which you need to rescue Eskom. And government is not implementing. If it is implementing, it's too slow. Yeah. So Cosatu came up with this solution. So being part of the alliance does not mean that, we are not providing any policy direction. We've provided policy direction most of the problems we've provided policy direction. You will remember that Cosatu was the first one that came with a new growth path. Yeah. And it was adopted by government. It has got a number of components. Government moved away from the new growth path. It went to the NDP. So that's why we're in the crisis.
One of the things that I've heard, in fact, I was here on Monday, there was a group of activists that were protesting. One of the things they were calling for was for the removal of Mantashe. What do you guys say to that?
Well, what we want to propose as a province is that it is not yet time to get these people living. Give them 6 months.
No, why not?
Okay, give them 6 months. One of the proposals that we're coming up with is that we do have 800 billion foreign currency reserves.
Yeah.
So can't we go to the reserves and take at least the 60 to 100 billion and say, Mantashe, here is 50 billion. No fuel levy, no ref levy, petrol goes to 17 rand a litre, and then we can do others.
Cushion us.
Yeah, cushion us as consumers. Two, you, Praveen, here is 50 billion. Get fuel, get resources to maintain the power stations. Yeah. So just put it on maintenance and buying of diesel, and make sure that within 6 months you fix the economy, because we think that if Eskom is alive and kicking, lights are on for 6 months, then if you're not going to do this thing in 6 months, you're not going to rescue the economy, then fire them. Fire all the ministers in the energy cluster, fire Praveen, fire Kwete Mantashe, fire anybody who's responsible for this thing, even the raiders, and rebuild the capacity of the state from the political leadership. So that's what we want to propose. Give them time. This is not time to fire them now. Give them time. Give them resources. 6 months is enough for them to cushion the consumers and make sure that Eskom is a public entity that is going to deliver electricity.
What are you hoping to achieve, though, by this March, by this picking?
Here we are going to give them proposals and say, you have these proposals, you are not implementing them, implement them. 6 months down the line, we want to see change in our country. We want to see employment, creation of employment. Then we want to see Eskom working. If we can give Eskom for 6 months, working for 6 months without power shedding, we can tell you that smaller companies will be resuscitated, employment will be created, and we can replenish the money that we took from the foreign currency reserves.
I don't think, though, the country's economy and South Africans can wait for 6 months.
Well, we're giving them 6 months. It's a reasonable time for us to come up with all of these things. It's a reasonable time. After 6 months, fire all of them.
Former President Thabo Mbeki last night actually saying that the government has failed to actually even implement a national plan on employment and also poverty levels, and just dealing with the issue of inequality.
Yeah, I mean, he's correct. I mean, even himself was part of government that was unable to deal with the issue of unemployment, poverty, and inequalities. In fact, during his tenure, the economy grew, but then it was as a jobless economy. Yeah. So all of the leadership would have failed to deliver employment, particularly of youth in our country. So therefore, that's why, unfortunately, the African National Congress is in power up until 2024. So we'll see what happens beyond 2024. But then the majority of leadership of government has failed the country. That's why the socio-economic conditions of our people is so dire in South Africa.
Thank you so much, sir. We have run out of time. Thank you so much for that conversation. Amos Monyela, there, Hugo. He is the chairperson of Cosatu here in Gauteng, coming up really with some of the interesting proposals for government, essentially, on how they can turn around the economy, saying that at least they should be given 6 months to look into those proposals. If they failed to deliver on those proposals, well, the ministers in the energy cluster should then be fired.
Malungelo, Booi, thank you so much for your time. We'll come back to that story during the course of the day.